I was just curious because I remember like after you got injured in 2018, that season you were not YT, and then the end of the year you mentioned just now that you didn't have the opportunity to continue with them. Can
Mhm.
like can you speak to what actually happened there and why you guys didn't continue?
Yeah, a bit of a weird one. Yeah, we're all good now. I know a lot of the guys over there still. It was a disappointing one when it happened. It surprised me a little bit. I wasn't very stoked on how they managed that, but Marcus, the owner there, like he's a businessman and he definitely just makes the decisions he want. Like it was a bold decision to bring me onto the program when they did.
Mhm.
Like just is like, this is what I'm doing. I don't care what anybody thinks. Suck it, everybody. We're doing it. And so yeah, it was a little bit of a weird one at the end of the YT contract. Basically, they had given me an offer around Croatia when I won that race. And it was I'm a little foggy on the details, but it was a very similar offer to what I had been on. And I just felt like what YT was after my first 3 years compared to when I came on the brand, I was like, "All right, I'm not gonna take full credit for everything," but I obviously had a massive part in putting them on the map, right? Like, we took a
Mhm.
brand no one had heard of and went and won the first World Cup and then won 2 out of 3 titles and probably would have won the 3rd if I wouldn't have got hurt. It was like YT was like, dude, they were selling bikes. Like, we
Mhm.
made them a lot of money, and I felt like I was as good as I'd ever been. I won Croatia, and so I was like, I just wanted a little bit of a bump on the offer they had given me. It was like, "Hey, we did 3 years, like, I've crushed it for you guys, like, can I have a little bit more here, a little more freedom there?" Um, and so it kinda wasn't like, it was like, "Okay, yeah, we'll look at it and let's chat." And then I got hurt at Fort William, and I kinda just, like, went dark for a few months because I was
Mhm.
like I just was trying to train and get back up to speed. So, like, negotiating my contract, like, for both of us, we were kinda like it was the middle of the season. They were like, "Yep, we'll look at this, we'll work on it, figure it out. Don't worry about it, just focus on getting healthy and, like, get back to racing." And for me, like, I was just so bummed to be hurt. Like, I just wanted to, like, get back and try to win races. So, we didn't really pick the conversation back up for a few months, and we were probably like a month out, right around the time I got the 29er, I think. And I was chatting with somebody over there that wasn't Marcus. It was somebody else that was kind of like the middle person. And they kind of told me, like, hey, yeah, we're all good. Like, just race your bike. Like, you're just getting back on this new 29er. Like, focus on that. Like, we'll get this deal sorted. Everything's good. Like, um, like just let's get through this last race and we'll iron it out and we'll keep it going or
Mhm.
whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. And like I said, I was just so focused on trying to get back that I just like that was where my head was at, was just trying to get back to winning. And so we got done with world champs, and even like a week before world champs, the same person was kind of like, yeah, we'll Marcus will sit down with you after the race and you guys can sort it all out and blah blah blah. So I met Marcus after the race, like literally like a few hours after I crossed the finish line at a hotel, and he's like, "Hey, thanks for everything. It's been a great ride," or something like that. He's like, "But we're not gonna continue downhill racing, and so that's the end of it." And I was like, "Okay." Like,
Wow.
I was like, "Dude, like, probably would have started looking at some other options a little earlier, like, if I would have known that." So, I wasn't super happy with that, obviously, but
That's insane.
maybe I could have pushed harder earlier or whatever is their decision to make, but I was like I was a little salty on that one. Um, so I was like, "Okay, well, thanks, dude." And, at the time, like, Martin was managing the whole program. YT sponsored the program, and we used Martin's vehicle, he was team manager, that whole thing, and so in my mind, I was like, "Okay, well, all right, we have an incredible group of co-sponsors with all the other brands I rode for, the entire team infrastructure that I had built with Martin, the staff, our riders, everything was there. So it was like, okay, well, we'll just go find a new frame brand and we'll plug it into our existing package of a program. And like, okay, I just need to find a bike that I feel like can go fast. So I talked to Martin, and I don't really want to dig into the weeds. Martin and I are all good. But basically Martin had a deal going on kind of behind the scenes with YT, and they decided to stay together and keep some things going. And so within a couple of days, that was the rest of my program and the
Dude.
frame deal. And I was like, dude, like, so anyway, so I was in a spot where I still had incredible support from, E13, TRP, all of our brands. Um, I needed a race program. I wanted to run my own team still. So I needed somebody to manage that program for me, and I needed a frame deal. So I actually reached out to Jeff Stieber. I think it was literally that night, after I had the conversation with YT. I went back to the hotel room, and I think I picked up the phone and called Jeff, because Jeff and I had always chatted for years about like how cool it would be if I could get on Intense somehow, because I lived like 10 minutes from him, right there by Temecula. I was a huge fan of the brand. I think they were a fan of me. Like we were just like, we would always chat in passing, and like we'd even talked, I think like earlier in that year or the previous year, I can't remember, at some point, like almost a little more serious, where he was like, hey, we're kind of working on some stuff. Like we might be open to something, but it's just maybe like I need some more time, but keep it in mind. I'm not ready now, but I think they had some new investors coming in, and they were looking to change some things up. And I was like, cool, man, well, keep me posted. You never know. And so I called him and was like, hey, man, I would be interested in chatting for next year. There might be an opportunity. And he was like, it's interesting you're calling. We've just had some big meetings recently, and this might actually be possible. Like, basically, like, come see me when you get back into California and we'll chat. And so, anyways, long story short, that ended up working out. It was good timing for them. And so they ended up being the frame brand. And then Todd Shumlick, which was my fitness coach for a while, he was running the Norco factory racing team. I called him because his contract was up and he wasn't continuing with Norco. And I was like, hey man, like I need basically a team manager to run my program for me. I have the frame deal. I have all the other sponsors. I have the budget. Everything's figured out. I just need somebody to run my program for me. And I knew him really well, obviously. And he was like, dude, I'm in, let's do it. So that was basically our 5-year run with Intense, and 1 year at Crestline last year. So
Dude,
yeah, crazy,
wild
man.
roller coaster.
A lot of stuff that happens, lots of behind the stuff with brands, highs and lows, things that are really cool and things that sometimes aren't very cool. But it's if you race as long as I've raced and done all this stuff, it's like it's just part of a career. And at the end of the day, everybody's trying to make the decisions they believe are best for themselves. So I don't hold any hard feelings. I'm cool with everybody, even if some of the things back then were a bit annoying at the moment.
If you guys enjoyed this clip, please like and subscribe. And to see the full episode, click the video right up here. Do it.
That was iconic.